Hello everyone, this is the Super Wig Maker, and in today's video I wanted to talk about the Futura hair and give out some details about what to expect when you buy the hair from me and how to work it with it in general. Some of the things that I will discuss have been requested in the comments of the first video, but I was going to make this video anyway and talk about the features of the Futura that I'm selling on my site. One of the questions, for example, was great video, how well does the Futura hair hold curl? And some other people asked me like, what colors are you gonna have, what is the price, what is the maximum length. So about the lengths, I can get anything from 8 inches to 28 without the need to have a custom order. And custom order means that the minimum order quantity is going to be 50 pieces. So if I get anything in between 8 and 28, I am within the range of their stock. The price is going to be $15 because I get it, they sell this very expensively. I managed to get it very cheaply because I found the factory, I buy wholesale. I managed to avoid the customs. I don't pay taxes, and that means that I can make and I'm adding my little profit, so it goes close to $15. I know it's synthetic, but Futura hair sells for as much as like $40 or $50 on local supply stores, and $15 is like very cheap. um, and about the colors, infinite amount of options. I have a lot of colors. I'm gonna get a couple of naturals, definitely a lot of blondes, some ombre, some darker ones, and I think that every color that I'm gonna get from now on is probably gonna be a blend, which is gonna be a custom order, but I'm gonna have to see on that. And I'm gonna have to see because 50 pieces per item is a little too much, because if I want to get like 10 items, I'm gonna have to get 50 of each, like 500. Anyway, when you get the Futura from me, you're gonna get this in this specific bag that I get from the factory as well. And it has a length tag, and I see that there is no color tag, and I'm gonna request them to have a color tag just to know which one is which. And if they can't really do that, I'm gonna add this with a sticker or something. Now the hair is packed in this case, as I said, and it's very tightly packed in the box like this, for example, so you realize that it's gonna be out of shape when you take it out. Let me just remove this from the packaging. You can see that it has a couple of bands and everything. The hair is ready to be used, like it's not tangled at all. I mean, right outside the box, it's ready to be used. Don't worry. It's just that it doesn't have a specific shape that you would probably want to have. Now, to use the hair and shape it, the first thing you should do probably is either curl it or straighten it, just to put your own specific pattern that you want. This hair can take heat very well, and it can take heat up to 180 degrees Celsius safely. They say that it can go up to 200, but that's too much. I think 180 is already too much, and you shouldn't really leave the heat for a long period of time on the hair. So, but you can very easily go as low as like I'm gonna put this on 80 degrees Celsius, which is the lowest on this one. When you use low heat settings, it's very safe and secure, and the reason is that you can't really make any mistake. Even if you leave it longer in the hair, the heat temperature control will take care of it from the curling iron, so it will not go anywhere above 80 degrees Celsius. So you're very sure that you're not really gonna have any risk that you're melting the hair or anything, and that's the good thing about that. I mean, if you have a very low heat setting, you can go really slow with that and make sure that everything just gets perfect. Look at that. Silky straight with one pass, and the hair is still hot. As you see, I'm going a little faster now because the temperature is higher. I don't need to keep the straightening iron for too long on the hair. And as you can see, these two pieces now are identical. Look how beautiful that is. Another way to straighten it, obviously, is to use your blow dryer. If it's extremely powerful, don't put it on the highest heat settings, because you don't want to just melt the hair. So let me just put this on a ventilated brush. I'm gonna put it on the medium settings for heat and high air. And yeah, I can say that the straightening iron is doing a better job. So yeah, do your thing. I would prefer the straightening iron. And you can see that this is all crimped and stuff, and this gets very straight very easily. Alright, another question was how to curl the hair, and I'm gonna use a normal wand. I have 120 degrees Celsius just because I can, and I'm gonna use this to demonstrate how to how to curl it like that and what you need to pay attention to. So I'm gonna start rolling this around here. I put 120 because I need to take my time rolling the hair around the wand. Alright, start getting a little too hot on my hands now. I need the heat to go everywhere. And one thing you have to remember is that when you remove that, you have to keep the curl as is and keep it like that for as long as it cools down, because this hair loses the heat very slowly. And if you if I didn't keep it like that, for example, and I would straighten it, it would end up being straight because the hair is still very hot and it still is malleable. So let's just see how that turns out to be once it cools down. Another way to curl this is to roll it somewhere that is round, apply heat and let it cool down. I have toilet paper core here. Yep, you heard correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around the toilet paper core. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place the heat. As you can see, I can actually put it through the, the, the core. And of course you would have to use something that is heat friendly. Paper in this case is heat friendly up to this specific temperature, so don't worry. All you have to do is make sure that the hair is very, very well heated, because if it's not, this is going to fail. And of course I'm gonna have to keep it like that while it cools down, so I'm gonna keep it with some clips. Alright, so let it just be there. A very well-known way to make hair curly, wavy, or kind of kinky is to make a braid. Let me just make a braid first, a normal 3-strand braid. And once this is ready, I'm going to apply some heat to that while it's braided with my curling iron, my straightening iron, sorry. Now there are plenty more ways. I'm not really gonna tell every way because you already know how to curl hair. One of the other ways is to get those foam curlers. Just curl it around and then just put it in boiling water and then just put it in cold water, and it should retain the style, because water doesn't alter the curl pattern. Unlike human hair, that humidity and water just revert the hair back to the original state, water can only alter the shape only if it is hot. So cold water is not going to do anything. You can actually do whatever you want. I just left this out It's gonna be straight so you can see the difference. And I'm gonna start taking these out just to see exactly what happens. So I'm gonna start with the first one. It's already cooled down, obviously. And you can see, look at that. That's actually a beautiful curl. And what I have to say is that maybe the thing that was pushing here just left a little bit of dents. So if you're really going to do something like that, you need a way to keep it without putting too much, crimp and grip to that. But look at that. The curl actually is forming ringlet. Look at that. It has a nerve, and you can actually separate this. Let me just separate it in two. Look at that. Beautiful. And if you brush this out, it still is brushable. You can actually create those beautiful vintage curls that fluff up. You can very easily just use up some back combing and turn this into a beautiful fluff. This is 26 inches of hair, and look how much it just contracted itself. You can always just put it back together into one bundle by brushing this. Or something like that. There it is. Back into a curl. Now let's see what happened with the toilet paper. I'm really curious to see that. I've never used this. And I see that I don't have a dent over here, which is a good thing. Alright, that's actually very beautiful. Look at that. It's not really that much of a curl as much as it's like a wave or something. Look at that. It actually wants to contract itself. Like if you let it, it will contract a little bit. But that actually is beautiful, like waves. Look at that. See? Like beach waves that wanna shape shift into different. They can shape shift from curls to waves. Look at that. You move it, and it retains a beautiful style. And that's with toilet paper. What do you know? There are actually normal curlers that have this size. If you get something bigger, it will obviously work as well. You can use something like barrel curl brush, and it should work as well. So I'm gonna take out the braids now. Let me just put this aside. Alright, I already see the fluff that I created here. And you can see how the defined curl looks. And if you brush it out, oh yeah, that's Shakira. Look at that. Her hips don't lie. And it kind of looks a little bit yucky now because the braid was rather small, but on the top here, the hair is a little uniform. But it kind of looks like the natural curly hair that if you brush it, it gets fluffy in the ends. Of course, I left out the very ends, so these are a little straight here. But I think that the hair looks amazing, and you can actually brush. Look at that. It's so easy to brush because the hair is sliding. And also this hair, I think this type of curl pattern is allowing the hair not to tangle. So that's beautiful. So I'm very curious to see what the big braid did. Let me just take this out as well. Yeah, not so much. Maybe the heat that I put was not enough because this is a lot of hair, and to get everywhere it needed a little bit more heat. But as I can see, yeah, it does have a little bit of a curl. It doesn't have that much of a curl, but this is also, it is a style, it still has a little bit of wave. This is much wavier. This is not as wavy. But I see that here it's a little straight. I actually failed this because I didn't let the heat for too long. If I use the boiling water technique, because you can do it with the braids as well, it would have been more consistent. So yeah, that actually works. You can see it over here and in the ends as well. But I kind of prefer this one better. I don't know why. I'm gonna take out the small one. I think we already know what this is gonna look like. Looks like rat tails. So it doesn't look that much of a difference. Maybe I didn't put enough heat as well, but you can see that it actually curls like this way. Yeah, it looks a little yuckier. So let's see the last one. I hope I put enough heat because I don't want this video to look like a fail, but you realize that you need to put the heat all everywhere in the hair, let it cool down, and it will keep this shape very easily. Yeah, I didn't put much over here either. Yeah, that's actually more of a fail. So far, I think only a small braid worked pretty well from the braids, just because it was tiny and the heat went everywhere. The rest looks okay, but yeah, the curl pattern didn't hold very well. I really like the wavy one that I did with toilet paper, which is like a barrel wavy style. And of course, let's not forget the normal. This is so successful because the curling one had a lot of heat and I left it enough for it to take all the heat, and then I left it to cool down for a lot of hours. So take this as a tip, like you really need to get the heat in there. It was only 120 degrees, but it was left enough for it to literally just take all the heat in there, and look at that. So beautiful. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna straighten this. I'm gonna use fast forward motion so you don't have to see it all. But what I want to show you is that the hair can get back to the very original silky straight condition and be extremely brand new. So stay tuned to see that. And I'm gonna do it on camera so you can see that I didn't do any magic. And there it is. As you can see, it's perfectly straight again, almost brand new. And I say almost because I just, curled it and took it back to the original shape. And you can see how easy it is to slide the hair. It's like I almost did absolutely nothing to the hair. The hair is just perfect. Look at that. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and ask me anything you want about the Futura in the comment section. I will try to reply to everyone. Yeah, sometimes people ask the same questions, so I have to repeat myself a lot, and the comments get lost because a lot of people comment on the same things over and over. But I will try to reply to everything. Be polite. Don't be mean because I had a couple of rude comments from people in the comment section. I don't know. I don't owe anyone anything. I'm not excusing myself, but just try to keep polite. If you come to my channel to look at my videos, if you don't like something, you can just go. If you like what I do, just ask me a question or tell me what you like and what you would want to see. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.